The only thing lacking is just we don't kind of practicalize most of what we do, right? So that's just major difference in comparing Canada and the UK. These are advanced countries that that do have a specialized teaching, and we get to kind of practice what we learned, right? So I studied accounting in Nigeria, and I would say throughout my time in a school, I didn't even know what Excel is, right? So
on this episode of my Japa Chronicles, I speak with an accountant who is charting his own course in the accounting world. You are welcome to my Japa Chronicles.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Can you tell us your name and where you're from?
So my name is Muyiwa Oloyede. I'm from Osun State, but I lived most of my life in Lagos. In fact, I was born in Lagos, so I would say I'm also a Lagosian.
Can you tell us about your academic background?
My academic background, I'm going to start with the most recent. Currently, I am a member of the Chartered Professional Accountant here in Alberta. I qualified in 2021. I'm also a member of the Association of Certified Chartered Accountants in the UK. I qualified as a member in 2018. I do have 2 bachelor's degree, one from Oxford Brookes University, and also one from Olabisi Onabanjo University in Nigeria.
So before you relocated to Canada, what were you doing back in Nigeria?
After my first BSc from Olabisi Onabanjo University, it was really tough. Job hunting, no kind of hope. So I kind of made it known that, I think the best would be to kind of go further my degree, education. So that was what prompted my first JAPA. That was in 2013. I did go. That was where I kind of did my professional qualification, the FCCA qualification. I achieved that when I was in the UK. So when I came back, it was much brighter for me in terms of job hunting. I was able to secure jobs in Nigeria, and I worked as an accountant for different firms in Nigeria before I moved to Canada in 2021. I did work for about close to 4 to 5 years in Nigeria, beginning from medium management level and achieving so much work experience before I decided to leave in 2021.
So let's go back a little to when you were in the UK.
In 2013, 2013, that was when I moved to the UK. After when I kind of decided that it's best for me to go further my education, I moved to the UK. And as of when I moved, the UK was still in the Eurozone, so they hadn't achieved the Brexit yet. So life wasn't as rosy as what we thought it was gonna be. The British were more in favor of EU and UK work experience. So there was a lot of EU and UK experience expected of people then. But I know that I was able to achieve my education there. It wasn't easy to kind of to get a solid, a good accounting role. So as a student then, we had to kind of, do all kinds of jobs. So, and then after my qualification, tried the UK government then will just give you about 2 months to get a job. If you don't get a job, or if you don't kind of switch your visa to a more permanent visa, you either become out of status, or you have to go back to your country. So my first JAPA story, there were more downs than up, but I'm glad I was able to achieve my professional qualification while I was in the UK, and it's kind of helped me in securing my first big job role in Nigeria when I came back.
You have schooled in the UK, you schooled in Nigeria, and you have had some level of education in Canada. Can you compare the 3 educational systems? What's your opinion of the 3 educational systems?
My honest opinion between the three educational categories, the UK, Nigeria, and Canada, I would say we're actually doing a lot in Nigeria. Like in Nigeria, especially if you go to a public tertiary institution, I would say we kind of we do a lot. There are not enough hands-on experience. That's what I do know. We kind of do a lot of stuff by just reading, by just going to classes, reading, but how to practicalize it, how to to kind of use it in the real sector. We don't have that. But I would say, to be honest, the Nigerian educational system is a good one because it actually does prepare you for the unknown. Like, to be honest, like if you go through the Nigerian educational system and you come out of it, you are much more ready to kind of compete. But it's just the only thing lacking is just we don't kind of practicalize most of what we do, right? So that's just major difference in comparing Canada and the UK. These are advanced countries that that do have a specialized teaching, and we get to kind of practice what we learned, right? So I studied accounting in Nigeria, and I would say throughout my time in a school, I didn't even know what Excel is, right? So, but while I was in school in the UK, we were introduced to all this. We saw how it works, right? So, but because I underwent the Nigerian system that kind of prepared me for anything, those things I was able to grab them when I taught. And in fact, I would say that also another personal story of mine is that there's some courses that I did that the lecturer came to kind of facilitate that course with us. We had to read on our own, but that doesn't happen in these advanced climes. In fact, they kind of tutor you to what is needed of you, even if it's exams or probably if it's of work. Like, okay, this is what you need to know. This is what you don't need to know. So I would say Nigerian system, especially in the public universities. I know the private universities are quite different, but public universities, you need much more investment to make them be able to compete with, the private in Nigeria, and also to compete with the best in the world. So I would say the three systems, they are miles apart. One is, you get to understand what you're reading, you get to understand what you're doing. While the other, you might not even know what you're doing. You just know that you're studying for a particular course. So that's my honest opinion regarding these systems of education in Nigeria, Canada, and the UK.